Welcome back to the United score. 3-0, Manchester United versus Brighton. We did it. We won 3-0. Now that is more strides we are taking forward to finish in the top four. Champions League, here we come. Now we have to finish in the top four. We don't want to depend on the result of the Manchester City verdict to qualify for the Champions League. Let's qualify on our own rights and on our own terms. So let's get into our analysis. Now the game started off as how it was throughout majority of it. It started off pretty slow where the ball was being passed, but it wasn't being passed at a pace that was fitting of Manchester United. We want to attack. Ole likes to attack. Based on his playing days, we can see that he likes to attack, and we were lacking that. Our attack came in phases. We passed the ball from side to side, from back to front, but we weren't having much of an impact, even though we were boasting most of the ball. We had players like Marcus Rashford who didn't put his best foot forward today. He had a very poor game, and I don't know what happened to him today, but the game he had was not Marcus Rashford. He was very, very, very rash in his shots and in his pass selection. A lot of them just went straight to the Brighton players. He made runs, but the runs he made just went back to a back pass for another player. So Marcus Rashford, I don't know what's happening, but you need to get back into the game. He made some forward passes, some aerial passes that just didn't come off whatsoever. And as I said before, the runs he made, I don't know. And he also was very slow in passing the ball. He wasn't the pace in Marcus Rashford. He didn't take on players. I saw one instance where he was running at a defender. But not running, he was walking at the defender with the ball. And then he was looking where to make a pass. The Marcus Rashford of old would go and take that defender head on and just try to beat him, which would normally be successful. And then he would end up making a good cross. So Marcus Rashford, he was lost in the game. He was just making passes because of pass sake and not because of making a pass for a player. Anthony Martial, he was also missing like almost entirely through the game. So he didn't have a bad game per se, because it's not like he got shots to make and he missed. Yes, I saw where he got a shot to make, but when he turned, the ball went straight to the defender, so the shot didn't come off. But as for Anthony Martial, he had to go deep for the ball. I saw him do it a couple times, and then he made a pass. When he made a pass to go forward, and the ball didn't come back to him. So the ball from the midfield to Anthony Martial, they weren't the best. So he didn't have much shots, or I don't even remember if he did have a shot at goal. But he was very, very, very much lost. Now, the man of the moment, Bruno Fernandes, he had an awesome game. That very, very first goal that he had, of course, it was a deflection. But if he didn't make that shot, then we wouldn't have scored. And even though it was a deflection, you don't know if he didn't make that shot, we would have scored or not. So kudos to Bruno Fernandes for always wanting to take the corners, to take the free kick, to always wanting to score. He is one of the players that we have been missing so far in our midfield, and that was one of the best buys that we have made this season. That second goal that he scored was also amazing. He took that volley from the cross from Mason Greenwood and he put it in the back of the net. Now that is what we need at Manchester United. That is what we need to move forward. That is what we need to give us drive, to give us impetus, to give us more victories. If you can remember, we were having trouble beating those sides like Brighton and the Norwich and Sheffield. But now we can see where the missing link was Bruno Fernandes. Putting him in the middle, that is the difference that we now need. He's the one that makes the passes that we need, tries to make aerial passes even though some of them don't come off, but that is what we need. We need positivity and influence, and that is what he brings. He brings leadership. So kudos to Bruno Fernandes for that. Now Paul Pogba was pretty much on and off in the game. Yes, he made a few tackles that cost us free kicks, but the pace was lacking and slow, so he played to that pace, which I don't know if it suited him or not, but the main thing is that we won the game 3-0. So I am not here to really ridicule anyone because of the fact that we actually won the game playing the way we did. We played very slow, but we still managed to produce three brilliant moments out of it. Now, Mason Greenwood was another spectacular person. Him dribbling with the ball is one of beauty, and I must say, when I see him cut in from the right, I am always anticipating a goal from him. And today he produced. He aimed to shoot left, but then changed the angle of the ball and shot it right and beat the keeper at the near post. So that is the marquee of a good striker. And now we can see where we have a future. We have a future in Mason Greenwood, and we have a future in our left back, Brandon Williams. Now, let us do the player ratings for today's match. David De Gea, he had a game where he wasn't offered much of the ball because we were boasting so much of the ball. So he didn't need to get involved in it, but he made two spectacular saves that I must give him kudos for. So with that said, I must give David De Gea a 7. And coming back from the verbal beatings I had given him last week, he did come back and do a good job, even though he didn't have much to do, but those two saves were world class. Wan-Bissaka was also really, really great today. He made a lot of tackles and interceptions for Manchester United, and he also had the hand and the assist in providing that goal for Mason Greenwood for the first goal of the match. So kudos to Wan-Bissaka for moving up and down the pitch and also making his tackles. So kudos to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Victor Lindelof. Lindelof had an okay game for me. He basically did what he was supposed to do as a defender, as a centre back. So giving him a 6 I think is very fair. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire played an okay game for me. He made a lot of interceptions and he made a lot of blocks and he did his job. So I must give Harry Maguire a 7 for his efforts today and for being solid for the backline in the Manchester United team. Now we go to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw for me would get a 6 because even though he played well, the influence in the game was not as major as a Wan-Bissaka or a Harry Maguire today for me. So I would give a Luke Shaw a 6 for now. Nemanja Matic, he started off very much like Marcus Rashford. He was making some passes that weren't coming off whatsoever, and we saw where he moved very slow. We need to look into a replacement for Nemanja Matic. He's very slow when passing the ball. He stopped today quite a bit, making some turns, and then he made a pass. Those were some pretty... He was too slow during the game, but he held his own and came back into the game in the latter half of it. So we saw where he made a few runs, also made some passes up front, and he made some crucial interceptions and defended well as the holding mid today for Manu. With that fact, and he also made that crucial pass to Mason Greenwood for the goal that Bruno Fernandes scored. So I will give Nemanja Matic a 7. That was a worldly pass. That was a world-class pass, and we all knew that Matic had it in him. So let's give Matic a 7. For Pogba's game was okay for me. He didn't do anything outside of the box that was eye-catching and spectacular, but yes, he made his passes and his influence in the team was felt. He played defensive, and the game was kind of slow. It was not kind of slow, it was slow. So I'm going to give Pogba a 6. Mason Greenwood, the highlights for me for today's game, he played very well on the right, cutting in, dribbling, stepping over, and he shot and he scored. So because of the goal and his assist, I'm going to give Mason Greenwood an 8. Bruno Fernandes, the man of the moment, I'm going to give Bruno Fernandes a 9. He was very spectacular. He wanted the ball in all occasions. He wanted the free kicks, he wanted the corners, and he wanted to shoot. He made 2 shots today that were very critical to our victory. So I'm going to give Bruno Fernandes a 9. he is a force to be reckoned with and the future of Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, very little in the game. He played very rash, and yes, his influence was felt throughout it, but it was not for the reasons that we had hoped. He made a lot of shots, but a lot of them went haywire, went wide. So I'm going to give Marcus Rashford a 5 today for his effort. Anthony Martial was pretty lost throughout the game. So he would also be in the range of a 5 or a 6 because he didn't make a mess today or did anything that would have cost us the game. I think Anthony Martial would get a 6, so giving him a 6 is reasonable. I think it's more than what he deserved. But the fact that he didn't get the ball he wanted up front, I'm going to give him a 6 for that. The only player I think I can grade from the bench is Brandon Williams. He had a spectacular game coming on. There was a point in time where one of the Brighton players made a break and he had to run that player down, and he made the tackle and he won the ball. And he also made some forward runs on the left. We saw where he made some other interceptions. So I'm going to give Brandon Williams a 7 for his effort. Imagine if he had started the game. So that is one of the reasons I said he and Greenwood are the future of Manchester United. So kudos to you, Brandon Williams. That is it for the United score. 3-0 win today for Manchester United. Let's keep it going, Manchester United. Keep scoring, keep winning, keep progressing, and we shall be in the Champions League next season. Now, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the United Score.